Hello guys, and welcome to a new Wargame video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 2 versus 2 on Plunjing Valley, and today I'm going to be playing with Bubblebox, and you'll be able to find his channel in the description. So today I'm going to be playing an Israeli deck, and Bubblebox is going to be playing a Eurocorps deck. I'm going to put this to my point of view. I know somebody asked me to go from the neutral perspective, but honestly I feel that I explain games that I play personally better from my point of view, because if I do it from a neutral point of view, generally I haven't watched the replay from that point of view already, so it's kind of hard for me to basically distinguish what can and can't be seen whilst I'm commentating. If I put it from my perspective, it gives me an overall look as to how I was playing the game and how I was reacting to what I could actually see. And that's generally what I tend to go for with these kinds of commentaries. So in this one, we are going to be going for a pretty sort of standard start with Israel. We have some Makarva 2As. These have the Rovate 90s in them. And then we have the Makarva 3B, which is sort of not the heaviest tank, but the second heaviest tank that the Israelis get. Very interesting looking. Does have the grenade launcher on the top there, which allows it to support us attacking the town. Now we're going for a bit of an unconventional strategy on this map. Generally the blue side don't attack into Foxtrot too much, but in this one we are going to. I decided that it would be really fun to sort of push into Foxtrot, so that's what I decided to do, and leave sort of a skeleton force in Bravo, when generally it's the other way round for the blue side. You normally push into Bravo and you leave a skeleton force on the top side of Foxtrot here, whilst one player goes through the mid, or you can push 2 players through the mid to force onto Delta and their 2-point sector. Because this is a conquest game, so the +2 sectors are the ones that matter the most. The Bubble is going to be pushing those with his Fuchs, and he also has some VBL Mistral. He's got the Crotal there, KBZ Kyler, love this tank. He's got Armada 2 in there, and the game is already underway. Over on this left side I've joined my forces with a few Agzarets, a couple of Macbeths, and this Terran 5 Blazer, really nice little recon tank. Over on the right side I do have a HVMS. This is there just to provide some AT support to my Agzaret and Zelda, the Rovate 90 and my Dorban LR. So off we go. At the beginning, Bubblebox is going to be capturing Alpha with his command vehicle, and I'm going to be leaving my command vehicle back in Charlie. So not too much happening at the very start. There wasn't really any helicopter engagements or any of that. I was just busy watching my convoy move down towards Foxtrot. And I was planning to sort of spread my forces down the left side here, and also capture, of course, this complex so that we could get a command vehicle into the backside of Foxtrot and contest that. That was the plan. Meanwhile, in the middle, Bubblebox just pushing all the way up. He accidentally actually unloaded his forces at the start of the game. We were talking about microing and how I thought that my micro had improved since I started playing Steel Division, and then he goes and unloads all of his APCs. Not the best move, especially considering how tedious it is to actually reload them all. So he just carried on with his Fuchs and left all his infantry behind, and it basically comes up behind towards the later in the game. Anyway, my Makarvas are moving up, and my Terran 5 Blazer, they're going to be targeting this tank on the right side. They do manage to pick off a couple of APCs there, but this is a T-64BM, and we need to get rid of that. That 100-point tank can definitely do quite a lot of damage if we let it. This Makarva 3B is lucky to still be alive. It's left on 1 health, as I believe it did get side shot. But with the last shot from the Makarva 2, the Makarva 3B actually remains alive, and well, I managed to really get some quite good luck there with the HGMs missing that. The Makarva 2As are pretty much both still full health, so I'm going to continue to use them to move forwards. And I'm just spreading out my Rovate 90, getting the Dorban LR back to the compound here, and these Exarchs are moving to the right to deal with the Spetsnaz crew. My bets are all the way back here on the back side. Over on the right side, I've deployed my forces, got the Dorban into the compound there. Rovates are dropped out. Now it's just a matter of surrounding these VDV with the Rovates, getting the Exarchs in to provide fire support. Over on the right side, we've dealt with the Spetsnaz crew. So we're going to start to put a presence into this forest in the middle. So already putting a lot of damage onto the VDV there. Enemy vehicle does get destroyed just here. Looks like it was an MT LBV. And there is a Tunguska making a run for it, since my Rovates did get into the centre forest. And my Makavas have run out of their main shells. They don't carry very many, but they do still have the 40mm frag grenade launchers, so they can be useful for pushing onto towns and doing damage to enemy infantry. Rovate are going to take out an enemy APC over here, just a BMP-1. And the Makava here is going to be doing some damage to the VDV-90, but the VDV-90 do get a really nice shot with that Vampire rocket into the side of one of my Makava 2As, which does make me more wary of pushing forwards and attacking them. Just about get my Tyran 5 Blazer into the forest before it gets targeted by the T-64BM. And now what I'm doing is waiting for my Oshkosh munition to arrive to repair my Makava 3B, and so I can use that against the T-64 that they've just brought in. In the centre, Bubblebox's infantry has finally arrived, and is going to start making a push with the assistance of this KPZ 70 Kyler. He has brought in a Tornado IDS to provide a bombing strike onto that squad. Lands a direct strike, which is very quick to kill it. Igla N goes down in the centre. And all of these sort of vehicles that start appearing get taken out as well. So Bubblebox doing a really good job in the centre at the moment to put some pressure onto Delta, but an SU-24M going to be coming in to deal a bombing strike. Let's see if that lands on target. Just about misses. So that Panzer Grenadier squad didn't take any damage. I believe that SU-27 or any SU-24M actually took a missile from the Crow Tau, so that is going to take a while to repair. Over on the left side we bump into an Igla N squad, which is going to be killed off by the Rovate 90. And over on the right, my Zelda and Exara, I was probing them into this forest here, just to see if they had occupied that, because we are fully controlling Bravo at the moment, and they could very easily actually neutralise Bravo if they put a command vehicle into the backside up here, so either into this forest or command infantry into the town. But so far they haven't, and that's giving us a +1 lead currently. My Makava 3B is nearly repaired, and Bubblebox still making some good progress in the centre. Over on the right side of this forest, my Exarchs and Rovate are starting to engage a couple of VDV squads. Now these VDV aren't VDV-90, so they only have 15 AP power on those RPG rockets, and the Exarchs have 10 front armour. So it's going to take them a little while to kill off the Exarchs, which allows them to fire all 3 of those machine guns on target for a very long time. I have these 2 new Makava 2As moving up, and one of them is going to get hit by the Mi-24 VP. The Round 5 Blazer is going to blow the crap out of those APCs. And the Makava 2A taking out the second one. So Kurnas 2000 being brought in. That is a Seed aircraft. One of my Makava 2s does go down. The second one I retreat into this forest area. The Rovates are going to get hit by the rocket pods of the Mi-24 and also stunned and taken out by the T-64. There was a bit of a suicide charge into the town there. I should have really had some smoke to cover that, but I hadn't thought to do so just yet. Just bringing up my fire support here onto the VDV, getting the Axaret to attack that VDV squad and bringing up the second unit of Rivet 90 to finish those off. Over on the right side, I'm bringing up a couple of Axarets to possibly attack this town. Just trying to see if I can probe on the right side and secure Bravo to maintain our +1 lead. Because Bubblebox is making a lot of progress in the centre. So I'm seeing it at the moment if I can actually do some damage in the right side of Bravo and secure our lead. Because as soon as Bubblebox can probably get up to like this road or even this road, he can cut off the reinforcements towards Bravo, which will definitely like help us out in the long run. There's some Fuchs coming up there with the Jaegers. He drops them out just as the T-72 had a chance to destroy one of the Fuchs, which was a really good job. Doesn't really have much to deal with the T-72A at the moment though, so he is going to have to charge that with the Jaegers in order to use the AT weapons to take that out. He is surrounding the VDV and the BTRDs in the centre. So great job there, getting rid of any of the opposing forces. Su-24M coming in though for its next bombing strike. This time the Crotals are on point. The Su-24M does go down, although it does deal a lot of damage to one of the Jaeger squads. Another Su-24M coming in. Tornado 1DS from Bubblebox. Both Crotals on target again. And another Su-24M is killed, although he loses all of his Jaeger squads on the right side. Now at base, our FOB is being artied throughout this match, which was a bit odd. I was a bit surprised to see like long-range artillery coming onto our FOB, but I'm assuming they just didn't want us to repair our squads and stuff. Because that's the only reason I could really think that you would want to destroy an enemy FOB. Because it's not worth any points really in Conquest. So yeah, it just seems a bit pointless. Either way, Leopard 2A5 has been brought up by Bubblebox, and that should hopefully deal with the BMPTs that are harassing Bubblebox's forces. I knew at the time that Bubblebox was actually struggling with dealing with the BMPTs, so that's probably why that Leopard 2A5 was brought up. And on my side, what I'm doing is I'm preparing with a mortar to provide some smoke. I've got my Macabre 2As and the Macabre 3B moving over to the left side forest here, so they can provide cover as I push forces into the town. And I'm getting a couple more Axaret squads with Rivet 90 to move into the centre forest. Because they are still pushing into here with these VDV and so on. I'm going to be bringing in this Kernus. We're going to see plenty more of them. The one Kernus comes in, second Kernus comes in, and that second Kernus is going to be the one to destroy the VDV. So the Jaeger doing some work on this left side as well. Dornier 2A5 is going to make a suicide charge over Delta just to try and get some recon information. And the Leopard 2A5 on the left side of Delta is just waiting for targets. So this Rivet 90 squad has one AT weapon left and is currently being chased down by a BTRD. I'm just continuing to run that away. More Axarets have arrived. And now I have to deal with a BMPT on this side. So the fight continuing here between the Jaegers and the VDV. If he can kill that VDV squad, that would be absolutely fantastic because he's trading Jaegers for VDV. VDV costing 20, Jaegers costing 15. So that's all pretty much paid itself off just by killing a VDV squad if they manage to. Rivet 90s are going to be brought up with those laws to try and take out the BTRD. And a Tornado IDS was brought up by Bubblebox to destroy the second VDV squad. So the Jaegers remain alive. And my Exarets, they get taken out very quickly by the 30mm autocannon of the BMPT. And I decide stupidly to charge the BMPT with the Rove 890s. Realising that the AT weapons of the Rove 890s did absolutely nothing to the front of the BMPT, I decide to run in the opposite direction. And it's something that I would recommend anybody does with their infantry that bumps into a BMPT. Now there's some infantry approaching my Rove 890, but what do I have on standby? 2 Cairnasses. I also have them being backed up by 2 Bazes. These are extremely veteran Bazes. These Cairnass are just here to get rid of the Mostrelki and the BTR 60PBs. Lovely direct hit there. The second Cairnass was going for the BMPT. And now I have some Exarets pushing hard onto the VDV at the town here. So they are covered by the Merkava 2A. But I really need to cover off against this T64BM. How am I going to do that? I'm going to use smoke. So the Lacia's here. This is my mortar. And for once, I'm sure you guys will be proud of me, I'm using smoke. It's actually quite something. I'm just trying to cover off this T64BM, stop it from hitting the Rove 8. Unfortunately, the smoke doesn't quite land in the right position, even though I did tell it to sort of hit in front of the T64. Still didn't completely cover it off, which was really quite annoying. So I have to fire another volley of the mortar shells there. Make sure we can smoke that off. But the Merkava 2A here has already done a lot of damage to the C64BM, and with the second shot actually destroys it. That was one way to get rid of it, and probably a more preferable way, getting rid of the T64 with a Merkava 2A. In the centre, Bubblebox still making ground here. Definitely got some great presence going on. Got a Crowtow going to shoot down the Mi-28, lovely kill, and the Ka-52 also very close to being hit as well. Tiger Had is going to help destroy the Mostrelki in the centre town. And over on the left side, I'm still pushing on hard into the town at Foxtrot, my Rove 890 making a lot of progress into the different compounds here. I'm just trying to jump them up as much as possible, try and get them close to the command unit. The command unit is actually forced to move at this point. As you can see, we basically take Foxtrot for ourselves and continue with the +1 lead. Now at spawn we did actually lose our command vehicle in Charlie, and I was forced to bring back the Exaret Pickard from Bravo, and I bring in a replacement for Bravo after that occurs. I thought originally we saw like a helicopter here, and we managed to get rid of that, but it turns out there was actually some infantry here as well, so I'm going to have to bring in my own in order to try and find that. So Merkava 3B, going to be trying to take out some APCs down the road, but this Merkava did get severely damaged. And you can see here I was actually reversing it while it was covered by smoke, because it was being fired at by an ATGM from the Mi-24 VP. And the last thing I want is my Merkava 3B to be destroyed by an ATGM. So I decided to just bring the Merkava 3B back now with that 5 health left towards the Oshkosh to repair, and we've also got the Merkava 2A coming back to repair and also resupply its main gun. So I'm dropping a couple of Cairnasses into the backside of Foxtrot now, and with a direct hit onto the enemy command, I actually do manage to take Foxtrot for myself. So we are currently running a +3. We've neutralized Delta thanks to Bubblebox's Leopard 2 command tank, and we also fully control Foxtrot. So that's what's giving us the +3 in conquest points at the moment, and we've definitely made a lot of progress. So Bubblebox's push was really good. He's now brought up 4 mortars to help him push onwards. And he's also brought up a replacement to a 5 after his last one got destroyed. Furthermore, another Crowtow going to be brought up. And now I'm just going to be waiting to find myself some more infantry and push into the top side of Foxtrot. Now down south here, we do see the Hamer get engaged by the Spetsnaz GRU. I do actually bump into them, don't manage to unload the squad in time. So what I end up having to do is send back this Hamer and Zanhanem here to go scout for that, and then hopefully get a little bit of help from some fire support to take out the Spetsnaz GRU, because the Zanhanem squad on its own probably won't win against Spetsnaz GRU. Now, I have had this MAR in the game for a little while. This has 290mm rockets, which can fire at a very long range, very accurately at certain positions. Now the idea was to use it to blow up some of the infantry in Foxtrot before we attacked, but I never really got to use it too much throughout this game. So as my Hamer comes across the Spetsnaz GRU, it does get destroyed, and then also a Fuchs here also gets destroyed. But with the help of the Leclerc and the Zanhanem engaging it from the other side, we do take care of the Spetsnaz eventually. Now we're currently running at a +4, so there isn't much time on the clock left for our opponents. But it doesn't seem like they have too much they can do at the moment, since Bubblebox has such a dominating presence in Delta. Now letting Delta be taken over this much is a massive issue for the enemy, because there's not much you can do to take it back now without taking heavy losses. And considering we've probably already destroyed a lot more than we've lost, we have a unit advantage anyway. So I do see another BMP coming in here to Foxtrot. Now I was waiting, even though I had Kernesses ready to go, I was waiting to see how long it actually takes for Foxtrot to neutralise, because then I could work out how far the command unit actually travelled. But while I'm waiting, just moving up my Merkava 2A to get into position. And then I'm also going to be bringing down these Merkava 2As with the Zeldas here, with Gavati. These are going to be pushed into the top side of Foxtrot to help us take that for good. Now over in Delta, Bubblebox going to be spreading out a lot of smoke so that he can charge on forwards with his Jaeger. And the 2A5 is going to be used here to kill some of the fire support up on the hill. So lovely couple of shots there. 2 for 2, killing those Skrezets. They should be able to get some shots onto the VDV-90 as well. So seeing all those VDV-90 all around, he does bring in some Tornado IDSs. The Tornado IDS actually unwittingly kills the enemy command as well. But with those VDV squads still definitely being there, I've targeted my Kernasses. Now, I changed their target to the T-80U that was on this right side here. You can see that it does get hit. The idea was to just utterly destroy that, but unfortunately, one of my Kernasses gets hit by all the Skrezats, and the second one gets shot down by this Su-27PU. Not quite the strike I was going for. But either way, we are now ticking at a +5, and just as I'm about to push into the town at Foxtrot, we begin to come towards the end of the game. Furthermore, an Su-27M is brought in now to try and take care of Bubblebox's heavy tanks. My Bazes were trying to shoot that down, but just as I got on target, the game ends after 21 minutes and 31 seconds for a 500-point conquest win. So, after all that, 2,830 kills to 2,015 losses for our team. Bubblebox doing extremely well in the centre, with a very nice kill death. Mine not so good on the left side. But what was interesting about this game was that I finally used smoke to not only cover my retreating tank from ACGMs, but also to cover my advancing infantry from an enemy tank. And that's something that often I would forget. So I think in this game it was a small demonstration of how you can use smoke to do those kinds of things. Furthermore, Bubblebox used a ton of smoke to just make a mass infantry push, which is another way of doing things as well. By the way, our teammates were pretty good. Pedro Man here did have, I believe, a 70% win rate. He didn't do particularly well in this game, getting 1,740 losses. Soloxia did pretty well, and I believe actually only had a 30% win rate. So tables turned on its head on the enemy team in this one, in terms of who got the kills and who got the losses, and who we expected to do well and who actually did. But there we go. People have bad games. I have bad games all the time, although not so much lately, honestly. But there we go. I do enjoy actually watching back some of my losses, because they do tell you a lot about how you've played and how the enemy have played. Like, if you ever get beaten, just watch how the enemy played against you. That's like the best way to learn. That's probably the best tip I can give you guys. Because that's how pretty much I taught myself, as well as being friends with people who are better than me and do beat me all the time. So that's another way to learn as well. But either way, guys, that's all for now. So hopefully you've enjoyed this pretty short game. But I didn't really have any other decent games to record. So that's your lot. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.